Quotes from Thomas Watson. From the Kindle, Deep Christian Quotes and Bible Verses. First quote. Godliness is glory in the seed, and glory is godliness in the flower. Second quote. Praising God is one of the highest and purest acts of religion. In prayer we act like men, in praise we act like angels. Third quote. To have only a name, and make a show of godliness, is odious to God and man. The hypocrite is abhorred by all. Wicked men hate him because he makes a show, and God hates him because he only makes a show. The wicked hate him because he has so much as a mask of godliness, and God hates him because he has no more. Fourth quote. What if we have more of the rough file, if we have less rust? Afflictions carry away nothing, but the dross of sin. Fifth quote. To make only a show of godliness is self-delusion. It is a horrible mistake to take a show of grace for grace. This is to cheat yourself, deceiving your own souls. James 1:22. He who has counterfeit gold instead of true gold, wrongs himself most. The hypocrite deceives others while he lives, but deceives himself when he dies. Sixth quote. If a wicked man seems to have peace at death, it is not from the knowledge of his happiness, but from the ignorance of his danger. Seventh quote. The natural man receiveth not the things of the Spirit of God, neither can he know them. 1 Corinthians 2:14. He may have more insight into the things of the world than a believer, but he does not see the deep things of God. A swine may see an acorn under a tree, but he cannot see a star. Eighth quote. There is more evil in a drop of sin, than in a sea of affliction. Ninth quote. Oh, what unparalleled folly is it to choose sin, rather than affliction. Affliction is like a tear in a coat. Sin is like a tear in the flesh. He who to save himself from trouble, commits sin, is like one who to save his coat, lets his flesh be torn. 10th quote. Godliness consists in an exact harmony between holy principles and practices. 11th quote. Some take pride in their graces. This seems strange, seeing graces given to the humble, that any should be proud of their graces. But pride is not from the grace in us, but the corruption in us. It is not from the strength of holiness, but the weakness of holiness. 12th quote. Another sin which has brought us low, is the abuse of the gospel. We are sick with Israel's disease. They despised manna. Numbers 21:5, our soul loathes this light bread. We have been nauseated by the bread of life. The gospel is the visible token of God's presence. It is the sacred conduit that empties the golden oil of mercy into us. It is the looking glass in which we see the face of Christ. It is the celestial banquet with which God cheers and revives the souls of his people. Isaiah 25:6. But was there not a gospel glut in England? People had itching ears and did not know what to hear. And has not our curiosity brought us to scarcity? God has no better way to raise the price of the gospel, than by taking it away. 13th quote. Prayer is the key which unlocks God's treasures of mercy. 14th quote. Without repentance, sin brings a man into the bottomless pit, and then he is brought low indeed. Sin draws hell at its heels. 15th quote. Sin brings many low in despair. This is a gulf which none but reprobates fall into. Despair is a God-affronting sin. It is sacrilege, it robs God of his crown jewels, his power, goodness, and truth. 16th quote. There is a carnal pride. I call it carnal because it is conversant about carnal objects. 17th quote. And what is one the better for all his wealth, at death? 1 Timothy 6:10, we brought nothing into the world, and it is certain we can carry nothing out. When the rich miser dies, what scrambling is there? His friends are scrambling for his money. The worms are scrambling for his body. The devils are scrambling for his soul. 18th quote. Some may ask, where is hell? But as Chrysostom said, let us not be inquisitive where it is, but rather let our care be to escape it. But, to satisfy curiosity, hell is some infernal place. It lies low. Proverbs 15:24, hell beneath. Thanks.